Hey everyone, thanks for joining me. We're going to start off with some gameplay, and then at the end I'm going to go ahead and share the commander's ship setup with you guys. So you see Alaska, he's about a half health left. I'm like, that's a solid shot. I'm going to go ahead and yank it, but goodness, somebody snatched all of it. We got one hit for 1,473 damage, and we stole that first blood medal from whoever had snatched all that health from him. So this is an interesting battle because, as you guys know, I mean, Tier 7 and Legendary, the meta has really turned into backing up, playing at extreme range, not really aggressive gameplay. So this was just a fun battle for me, other than I had to literally play this island, and you'll see why. I had to stick to this island the whole time. But it was fun. I mean, to see both teams, for the most part, everybody from both teams pushing forward and not running to the back or the edge of the map, that's awesome. I love that. So Massachusetts, he's pushing our Alaska, and we're going to try to save him. We lose our DD, unfortunately. But nevertheless, we're going to try to get this Massachusetts out the game. That was a big help. I mean, our DD did get off a few torps before he got 8, but nevertheless, I definitely would have rather kept him in the game, obviously. But we're going to spank that booty. 21,000 damage. We'll let them know who we are. We're rolling big Yamato, baby. So Alaska is really in a pinch. I mean, you can see he's just... The only thing saving him literally is that island. And you can see he's asking for us to go ahead and knock him out. With this final salvo, we'll get him out the game. And back to port, buddy. So I'm going to immediately switch to gearing, even though I do see Conqueror pushing Alaska, because he is a DD. Again, I can't stress this enough. Anytime you see a DD and he's spotted, man, take his butt out the game. They are one of the most dangerous class ships if left unchecked. So that's why I'm like, screw it, I'm going to aim for him. So he's starting off kind of slow. I was kind of figuring, all right, I'm going to go ahead and tap him, but he got up to speed too quick, and unfortunately, I didn't lead him enough. But he's over there, and he gets taken out regardless. So we lose our Alaska. We're up, though, so which is a good thing. Now, hypothetically, you're in a situation where you're going up against another battleship and they're battle tanking, right? So notice where my aiming reticle line is. It's on top of the first front turret. And the reason why is I want my shells to hit that turret behind it, the second front turret, as well as that tower. Because the tower is a soft spot. And that turret I would like to take out. But regardless, that's how you want to aim. Because if you aim at the water, or if you aim at the bow, you're going to bounce, you're going to miss, you're not going to really do much. And here's another shot, so you can see. Right at that front turret. 17,000 damage. So you see why I say aim like that and not waterline or trying to hit the bow of the ship. So if you notice on the mini-map, you got a cruiser and 2 battleships, literally just hiding right on the other side of that island. So their ally is about to die. Back to port. See ya. So if they would have just continued to push my right flank, they could have easily taken me out. But for some reason, they just stopped and they're playing it conservative right there. I just don't understand. They were doing so good pushing, but hey, don't get me wrong, I love it, because that saved my butt. So we see he has got a sliver of health. We got to get him out of here, because he's just going to run. He's going to try to hide. See you, buddy. So now this is where it's odd, because this is where they actually start pushing forward. And they're coming literally right up this center part, giving literally our entire team the ability to shoot at them. I just don't get it. If they would have just kept pushing out of their side, I'm the only one there. They could have outnumbered me and took me out. So just a, little helpful hint for anyone who might be in that type of situation. Don't stop pushing. If he's alone and you got the numbers, man, you guys push and take him out. So Okhtov, he was trying to get some torpedoes off on one side. He's going to try to dump some here. He's running away. I'm like, no, sir. We're going to go ahead and make sure he doesn't go anywhere. And back to port, buddy. And that's our Kraken. So this is where, again, it's odd because, look, Grosser, he's going to stop. And he's going to actually start backing up while Amagi pushes. Now, Amagi pushing is going to give his broadside up to my teammates. I just don't understand that. Like, if they wanted to push, why didn't they push earlier? And here they push one at a time. Either which way, great battle. Amagi, he's going to give me that broadside, man. My teammates are shooting at him. We're going to go ahead and send his butt back to port as well.
Problem solved, sir.
See ya. So now watch this. Now this is when Grosser starts to push forward. It was like a conveyor belt, just one right after the other. This little section had so much death it was not even funny. So as you can see, aiming reticle line again is going to be in the front where the turrets. I was so sure this was going to be my kill. I was even trying to hold my shot a little bit. Bam! Take out the turret, and I did not get a lot of damage. I'm like, oh well, no worries. Now let's get into the ship and commander setup. So a few updates ago, there was a update where they hurt the dispersion on Yamato. My guess was they were trying to maybe make it, balancing or what have you. Because, don't get me wrong, Yamato is a hell of a ship. Super strong. I mean, you could actually even say that this holds the crown for legendary ships. In my opinion. Battleships, that is. So, when this thing first came out, I mean, it was a monster. And, I mean, I was getting 200k and dev striking people left and right. And ever since that nerf, I've noticed a dramatic change in that. So I'm guessing that's why they did it. It just kind of sucks. But nevertheless, still a fun ship, and you can still do some serious damage in this thing. So let's get into the upgrades. I went aiming system, so that way I could get that extra 7% dispersion. I went propulsion. It already has a great rudder shift, so that's why I did not go steering gears. And even if you jump into AI, you can see when it steers, you don't need steering gears. You really should have that propulsion, especially playing that back and forth bow tanking game, and it helps you dodge torpedoes if you're parked. And all of a sudden you see a DD pop up, torps are coming for you. Get to moving. I went targeting acquisition. The reason for this is the extra 20% torpedo detectability range, the extra 50% RGA of ships, is going to be way more beneficial than what I've heard some people going into a concealment system build where you're only getting an extra 10% coming off your detectability. It doesn't really make sense to me because no matter what, you're going to get outspotted by a DD. And most cruisers for that fact. And if a CV's in it, you're definitely getting it. So it just really felt like that would be a waste. I went main battery mod. The AA setup on this is already good. Not using it as a brawler, so no reason to go secondary. So of course I want that 12% to come off my main battery reload. And now on to the commander. I'm running Takagi. Straight range and dispersion marksmanship build. Flammable cannoneer, gyrating Gilbrits, marksmanship, reaching out, of course will to rebuild, especially with his base trait, and of course Cunningham as well as Scharnhorst. So I hope this commander and ship setup is going to help anybody who's about to get it. Maybe you're trying to fine tune it, or you've just been playing with it and you're just not liking the setup. This is something else you can try. So please don't forget to subscribe, and until next time, Stay frosty out there.